Hi everyone, welcome. In this video, we are going to build a Spring Boot project using two most important concepts. The first is H2 database and second is UUID. Plus this video will be the last video before going to part 2 of REST plus microservices. Okay, see, part 1 of REST plus microservices already uploaded. Then we have seen response entity plus status code already uploaded. Then we have seen exceptional handling in Spring Boot already uploaded. Then we have seen date and time already uploaded. Plus last video is H2 database plus UUID. Okay, then we'll move to the part 2. Okay, why? Because see, what I feel is after part 1 you should know these concepts. Okay, not for the knowledge purpose, but for the most important interview purpose. I'm again and again telling you the course is best not only for the knowledge plus interview purpose. Okay, you should know everything like H2 database, UUID, okay, why and what is this, response entity status code, okay, and exception handling obvious, okay, date and time functionality obvious, okay, and then we'll move to the part 2 of the REST and microservices. That is the first topic of the microservices. Okay, fine. So what we are going to do in this video is we are going to build a student full flash Spring Boot project using H2 and UID. Okay, and while coding I'll explain everything. What is H2, why we are using H2, okay, what is UID, why we are using UID, how we are using UUID, okay, how the database behave, okay, everything. Fine. Plus I'm going to show you the real world example for this UID. Okay, real world example. Fine, obvious. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's directly jump into my browser to set up the project. And yeah, one more thing, if you haven't subscribed, then please make sure you subscribe my channel to support me. Okay, I need your support. Fine. Okay. Okay, so come to your favorite browser and type the same Spring Initializer. Okay, and now just pay attention. I am not going to add the MySQL database driver. Okay, rather H2. Fine. So first let me give my project name student. Okay, and everything looks good. Now here the first dependency is web, obvious. Okay, second is JPA. Okay, third is H2. See here, H2 database. Okay, fine. And then dev tools. Okay, dev tools, fine. And the next is Lombok. Okay, done. Now let me quickly generate it, and it's asked to save me. Okay, so let me save it in my folder, save it. Okay, fine, let me go there and extract it. Let me extract all, extracted. Okay, let me go to my Eclipse. So here let me import the project, import, okay, Maven, fine, existing Maven project, browse. Okay, so where I have, okay, so today modifications, that is student. Okay, fine, and select folder, finish it. Okay, so you can see here is my student project, and let me go to my pom.xml. Yeah, so let me scroll down. The dependency we have added is data JPA, Spring Web, DevTools, H2 database, Lombok, and the test dependency which is pre-added. Fine. Now the very first thing, okay, important, listen to me. Let me create the student entity with ID data type as UUID, not long, not int. Okay, so let me quickly create the package and the class. Okay, so the package is entities, okay, and the class name is student. Okay, fine, let me zoom it, and here entity. Okay, now private UUID. Okay, ID. Okay, let me create few more fields, not much, string name and private string, okay, email. Okay, done. Now what is this UUID, why we are using it, and what is a real world example? Okay, so okay, see here, UUID stands for universally unique identifier. Okay, UUID stands for universally unique identifier, is a 128-bit number which is used to uniquely identify the information in the computer system. How? See here, UUID is formatted as UUID is formatted as 8, 4, 4, 4 and 12. Okay, 32 characters divided in 5 parts. The first part contains 8 character, then 4, then 4, then 4 and then last one contains 12 characters. Okay, now the real world example is chatGPT. Okay, or see, there are many examples. Fine, but chatGPT is one of them. Okay, ChatGPT is using the UUID to uniquely identify each chats. Okay, let me show you. So let me go here and let me open the ChatGPT. chatgpt.com. Okay, yeah, so this is the interface. Now when I initiate the chat, okay, it will assign a UUID. Okay, and then it will identify uniquely. See, UUID give the global uniqueness. Fine, suppose if I let hello, okay, just hello, see in the URL. Okay, see, suppose let me initiate another new chat. Okay, now just see, just focus on the URL. Okay, initially it was chatgpt.com and then model equals auto. Now let me again hello, see, chatgpt.com/c for chat slash this, which contains 5 part, 8, 4, 4, 4 and the 12. Okay, so ChatGPT is uniquely identify each chats using these UUIDs. Why? Because it will give me the global uniqueness. Plus, there is very hard to predict. Plus, this UUID gives no information about number of records. Suppose we'll not use the UUID, rather we'll use an integer or long. Okay, and suppose the ID is 50. So there might be, like, anyone or attackers may guess that okay, there are 50 records. Yeah, it might possible. But the UUID give no idea, no information about number of records. Okay, and it is perfect for the microservices. Fine, so that's why we are using the UUID. Okay, and there are many types of UUID. So currently it's not important, just like MD5, okay, time based. Fine, and the random UUID, you'll just generate using random class. Fine. Okay, so currently it's not important, the types, all the types are not important. I'll teach you in the later videos. Fine, so this is what the UUID, why, what and how. So how we are using it. Okay, so again let me go to my Eclipse, and here now let me inform Spring that this is my ID. Okay, and generated value. So initially, okay, initially generation type as auto, the strategy. Now just see here. So at generated value, okay, strategy generation type dot, you can see auto identify sequence table and UUID. So this is what will select here. Fine, next is let me give the add data. Okay, getters and setters. Fine, so this is done. The next is let me quickly create the controller service and repository. Pause the video and create by yourself. Okay, just quickly pause the video and create it. there is nothing new. Okay, and I know you are master in it. Fine. So let me go to my class controller. Okay, student controller. Fine. The next rest controller. Okay, the next is class. The package is service. Okay, so the class name is student service. Okay, here service. Okay, the next is interface. Okay, packages repository and student repository. Okay, fine. Let me extend JPA repository. Okay, here I'll write the student. Fine. See student, and here the data type, that is the UUID. Okay, data type UUID. Fine. So everything looks good. Now the last thing is, let me go to my, just pay attention here, let me go to my src bin resources. Let me delete this application.properties file. Okay, and let me create a new application file, that is application.yml. Okay, and here we will configure our h2 database. Fine. So here the h2 database comes into the picture. Okay, now let me give you an interesting scenario. Okay, interesting scenario. Please be focused. H2 database. Pay attention here. Okay, and listen to the scenario. Fine. Suppose you are building a Spring Boot project. You are building a Spring Boot project and you want to use a database for the testing purpose. For the testing purpose. Now you might be asking me that, what do you mean by testing purpose? So it includes two things. The first is, you can able to perform all the operations, plus it should follow the ACID properties, just like relational database, RDBMS. Okay, and the second thing is, once you close your application, once you terminate your application, once your testing is over, once you close the connection, all the data stored in your database should be vanished out. That means, suppose you are using a database, okay, and you have started your application, so table got created, okay, and you have performed all the operations, just like you inserted the records, okay, update or many operations. Fine. Okay, your testing is over. Now you have terminated your application, you have closed the connection. Right after there, all the data stored in the memory should be vanished out. Okay, gone. So that is for the testing purpose database, and that's why we'll use the H2 database. Okay, MySQL, SQL Server, MS SQL, okay, Oracle, Postgres, okay, Cassandra, these all databases are used for the production environment, okay, where the data is stored permanently. Fine, but H2 database is used for the generally testing purpose, or I can say highly used for the testing purpose, because the data stored is temporarily. Once you close the connection, all gone. Okay, fine. So let's do the configuration, H2 configuration. See here, Spring, okay, 2 space notation, 2 space, fine. Data source, okay, URL, which is JDBC, okay, H2 colon MEM, memory, okay, and then the database name. Now there is no need to create the database name explicitly. Once you start your application, automatically database will be created by the name you will provide here. Suppose I'll provide the student. Okay, fine. The next is username. Fine. So give any username. Suppose I'll give the root. Okay, same. And password. So password is, suppose, give any password. Okay. So this is my password, and then the driver class name, which is equals to org.h2.driver. Okay, next is JPA. Fine. So database platform. So here we'll write the dialect. So open any Java file. Okay, Control Shift T and write here H2 dialect. Okay, just click here. So H2 dialect class, right click, copy qualified name. Okay, and paste it here. Fine. Next is hibernate DDL auto. Okay, that is update. Okay, and one more thing. Okay, one extra thing, you need to enable the H2 console. Fine. So before it, show SQL. Okay, true. I wanna see what Hibernate is executing, what command Hibernate is executing. So show SQL true. Now here in the database JPA, so in this line, okay, database JP line, find inside Spring. Okay, inside Spring you need to write the H2, fine, colon 2 space console. Okay, colon 2 space enabled, that is true. Okay, and path. Okay, on which path it should run. So slash h2 and console. Fine. So it looks good. Everything looks good. Okay. Fine. Okay, everything looks good. You can take the screenshot. Okay. So now let me quickly create a simple method in my controller. Just simple method. Public. Let me zoom out little bit. Okay. So public, okay, and it is returning the student only to see the results. Fine. And create student. Okay, here let me pass the request body. Okay, student. Okay, and the student, you'll create the DTOs. Fine, you'll create the DTOs. Okay, and here post mapping. Fine, slash save student. Okay, request mapping is X. Fine. Okay, so now student service. Okay, let me auto wire. Fine, pause the video and do it yourself. Okay, just create a student. Okay, student service dot save student, and let me pass the student here. Let me create the method in the student service public, which is returning the student only, and the save method I'm getting student. Okay, okay, fine. And here student repository. Okay, student repository auto wired. Okay, and then student repository dot save, and then student. Okay, fine, and return the student itself. Controller. Okay, where is my controller? So let me return it. Done. Fine. Now let me quickly run my application, and first let me open my Postman also. Postman. Okay, and let me run my application. Fine. So you'll see the query what Hibernate is running, and let me create quickly a new collection, that is the student. Okay, and quickly a request. Okay, simple post request localhost create save student. Okay, save student body raw JSON. Okay, here let me give the name as my name, okay, and email as mm, abc@gmail.com. Okay, fine. Now let me just run my application in the debug mode. Okay, in the debug mode. So that is the best way to see the results. Okay, now just see here. Run as, not debug as, Java application. Okay. So it's running. Our application is running. You go here. Okay, fine. So where, yeah, here it is. Okay, you can see create table student ID. The data type is UUID, not null. Okay, email, name, fine. Primary key is ID. Now let me go to my C. So let's see the console, H2 console. Okay, so the path we have given is H2 console. Fine. Let me go to my, copy it. Let me go to my browser. Okay, and localhost 8080 slash H2 console. See here, this is what the interface. Now what the username and password you are given there. So username is my root and password is, okay, this is, so fine. My username is root and password is, this is. Test the connection. Okay, so okay, database also we need to give. So database is student. Okay, so database is the student. See here, the JDBC URL and username and password should match what you have given there. So URL is JDBC H2 MEM and student. Okay, fine. So now again let me give the password and let me test the connection. Okay, test connection successful. Let me connect it. Okay, so I guess password is, okay, let me connect it. Yeah, you can see the student table created. Fine. The ID is UUID. Okay, and email name is string. Okay, you can also select, you can also run the command select star from student. Okay, just run it and you can see currently there are no rows. Fine. Now let me go to my postman. Okay, let me first go to my Eclipse and put the debug pointer on my here. Okay, fine. Let me just now X and save student. Okay, X save student. It's post request. Okay, let me send it. Okay, let me go to my here. Fine. Okay, so control stops here because I put the debug pointer. Fine. I'm getting in the student, I'm getting ID null. Okay, name and email. Fine. Let's see the UUID it will generate. Okay, because we have added here strategy as UUID. Fine, let me run it. Proceed. Okay, so insert into, let me go to my 200. Okay, and you can see the UUID it generated. Okay, let me go to my console and again let me hit the select star and you can see the ID, email and name what I've given and the ID. See 8, okay, 4, 4, 4 and 12. This is the unique ID, gives the global uniqueness. Okay, what the ChatGPT we have seen here. Fine. Okay, so this is what and all the operation you can perform by yourself. Okay, just I wanna show you the H2 database and the UUID which I already shown you. Okay, and now your task is to perform all like different operations in the student controller. Fine, write different endpoints and just play around with it, and this is what the we have seen the results. That is what we've expected. Fine. And yeah, one more thing, one last thing, okay, the important thing is, if you are enjoying the video, then please subscribe. Okay, I need your support, and thank you.